How did we teach machines to translate a massive 50-word sentence without completely forgetting the beginning by the time they reach the end? Welcome to Yurix AI. This is Lecture 13 of LLMs from scratch, Zero to Builder. Today, we are going to master the exact mathematical mechanism that shattered the memory bottleneck in early AI, completely transforming how machines process language.
We've got an exciting roadmap today. We'll start with the baseline, neural machine translation, then look at the context vector bottleneck. From there, we'll dive right into the attention breakthrough, visualize something called soft alignment, and finally wrap up with the transformer revolution. All right, let's jump into Section 1, the baseline, neural machine translation. You know, this field moves incredibly fast. In just about 3 years, we evolved from basic recurrent neural networks, or RNNs, and their more advanced LSTM variants in 2014, to the proposal of the bottleneck attention mechanism later that exact same year, and then boom, by 2017, the field leaped into the entirely new transformer architecture. It's a rapid evolution for sure, but to really understand it, we have to start with those early sequence-to-sequence models. So what exactly is a sequence-to-sequence, or seq-to-sequence model? At its core, it's a deep learning model that takes one sequence of items, like an English sentence, and outputs another sequence, like a French translation. Back in the day, these relied heavily on RNNs, which process data sequentially, one step at a time. An encoder RNN reads the input sentence one single word at a time, updating its internal state at each step. Then a decoder network takes over to generate the translation, also sequentially. It sounds logical enough, right? But this step-by-step processing actually creates a massive limitation. Which brings us to Section 2, the context vector bottleneck. The fundamental problem with modeling long sequences boils down to this concept right here, the context vector. In those early models, once the encoder finished reading a whole sentence, it had to compile everything it just learned into a single fixed-length array of numbers. That array is the context vector, and it was handed off to the decoder as its only source of information. Think about how crazy that is. The model was literally forced to squash every single nuance, grammar rule, and vocabulary word of a long sentence into one rigid, finite mathematical space. Let's use an everyday analogy to really picture this struggle. Imagine you're a human translator. The old fixed vector method is like someone forcing you to listen to a 50-word speech, demanding you perfectly memorize every single detail, and then taking away your notes before letting you write down a single translated word. Naturally, you'd forget the beginning. The newer method on the right, though, is how we humans actually work. We look back at our source document, focusing our eyes on specific words exactly when we need them while writing out the translation. Take a look at the dashed line on this chart. It represents that standard RNN encoder-decoder model. Notice what happens when the sentence length crosses about 20 words. The performance just falls off a cliff. The model literally runs out of memory space in that single context vector, and it just starts forgetting the sentence. Before attention, models forgot the start of long sentences. Where have you felt that limit? Think of a time you were trying to hold too much in your working memory. Pause the video and drop your answer in the comments. All right, moving into Section 3, the attention breakthrough. Luckily, researchers recognized this massive flaw, and it led to the attention mechanism. Simply put, attention is a technique that allows the decoder to selectively search for and focus on the most relevant parts of the input sequence for each new word it generates. Now, there are 4 main types of attention mechanisms used to focus models: bottleneck or additive attention, Luong or multiplicative attention, self-attention, and multi-head attention. We are focusing heavily on bottleneck today, but regardless of the type, the core idea is the same. Just like our human translator looking back at their notes, the decoder can now dynamically direct its focus across the entire original sentence. Structurally, the difference is night and day. On the left, you've got the basic decoder receiving only that final singular hidden state, the dreaded context vector bottleneck. But over on the right, the attention decoder receives absolutely all of the hidden states from the encoder. The encoder is now passing along a separate vector representing the context around every single word in that input sequence. So how does the decoder know which of those hidden states to actually use? It follows a brilliantly elegant mathematical process. First, it receives all those hidden states. Second, at each step of generating a new word, it mathematically compares its current state with every single input state to give each one a relevant score. Third, it runs those scores through what's called a softmax function to turn them into percentages and multiplies the input states by these percentages. This amplifies the important words that are highly relevant right now and drowns out the rest. Attention let models look at the whole sentence at once, fixing the bottleneck that held RNNs back. If that just clicked, hit the like button. Let's jump to section 4, visualizing soft alignment. We can actually see this working. In this heat map from the original bottleneck paper, the English source sentence is on top, and the French translation is on the left. The brighter the pixel, the higher the attention score. You see a strong white line down the diagonal, which makes sense since languages often follow a similar word order. But look closely at the phrase European Economic Area. When generating the French word zone, the model's attention jumps forward to the English word area. Then, for economic, it jumps backward to economic. And for European, it jumps backward again to European. The model organically learned French grammar rules, dynamically shifting its attention to make it happen. We see this incredible flexibility across different grammatical cases, too. When translating something like the destruction of the equipment, the model learns to blur its focus across both the and equipment to figure out the correct French article. It doesn't rely on hard one-to-one word mapping. Instead, it uses a blurred, soft focus that naturally handles the fact that languages have different syntaxes and phrase lengths. It's behaving exactly like a fluent human translator. Returning to our performance chart, the solid black line representing the attention-based model tells a completely different story. Unlike the dashed line that plummeted after 20 words, the solid line stays completely flat and robust all the way up to 50 words and beyond. The model's long sentence amnesia is completely cured. And that right there is exactly why we care so much about attention. Finally, section 5, the transformer revolution. By 2017, researchers realized something profound. Attention had proved that relying on a single context vector was totally unnecessary. But the underlying recurrent neural networks doing the work were still incredibly slow to train because they had to process words sequentially. You couldn't process word 10 until you finished word 9. So the logical next step? Drop the slow RNNs entirely. The result was the 2017 transformer architecture, which introduced a powerful concept called self-attention. Self-attention allows a model to relate different words within the exact same sequence to compute a representation of the entire sequence all at once. This bypassed the need for sequential RNNs entirely and unlocked massive parallel processing. This realization led directly to one of the most famous papers in modern AI history. Attention is all you need. Right in the abstract, the authors declared they were proposing a new architecture, quote, dispensing with recurrence and convolutions entirely, based solely on attention mechanisms. They took this self-attention concept and made it the absolute foundation of the model. This is the exact architectural breakthrough that scales up to create the massive AI language models we use today. Now that machines can dynamically focus on massive contexts, what are the next fundamental limits we will need to break? We've gone from models that forgot the start of a paragraph to transformers using self-attention to instantly focus across thousands of words. But evolution never stops. What do you think is the next evolutionary bottleneck for AI? It's an amazing question to ponder. To recap, we've explored the memory limits of early RNNs, how the attention mechanism solved it by letting models look at the whole sentence at once, and how this sparked the transformer revolution. Like, share, subscribe to Yurix AI for a new lecture every day. Hit the bell.